Hi, Professor Black. I broke up my insights into three categories. First is the educational category. I'm really, really glad this isn't one of my first classes, so that I at least have a framework and a foundation from NT 500 and OT 500 about what some of these basic words, Hellenism, all that stuff mean, what it's referring to. So I'm so grateful for that. I'm referring back to that stuff that I already learned. Number two, I'm really glad I switched from the certificate program to actually getting the full master's because, man, there is so much to learn. I felt very grateful for that this week. Third, I'm grateful that the authors of the articles in particular, I guess Tate too, use examples. They don't just say all this academic stuff and then you kind of have to figure out how to apply it. I'm grateful that they pick passages of the Bible and say, okay, let's use an example of this. I know that's normal, but for me this week, I just felt very grateful for that, for the insight that could come from the actual putting an actual example to it. I have a lot of examples of that, but I don't have time to share that. Under my emotional section, there's an emotional section. Okay, I'm very frustrated. I am a fast reader. I am not a fast understander. And I need to understand this stuff. And I just am struggling with that. It's important to like untangle the webs of what we're trying to interpret. So, pulling out the thread of the Greco-Roman, where are the influences here? It's so mixed. It's so important to understand the roots. And so it's hard to get to the roots, and so I'm kind of struggling with that. I feel a lot of danger emotionally. I feel like I wrote down it's very tempting to interpret rather than apply. Even in our exercise this week, I felt this danger of wanting to just interpret what it's saying, but that wasn't our task. And I also wrote down, I keep trying to establish a mutual understanding with the text, with me, instead of what we're trying to learn, which is trying to establish a mutual understanding with the text and the person they were writing it to, like in that time. It's just tempting to not do that and make it make sense for us. But that wasn't your whole point, I don't think, this week. So, also I'm fascinated by so many things that I want to learn more about, and I feel like I can't. Like Epicurus, I'm fascinated by him. Under spiritually, I just feel like, I know in one of the texts it said there's only 0.006 amount of the evidence or whatever that we have for what we could have, but there's so much evidence that this is real, and it just makes me, seeing all this, and I'm so overwhelmed by how much I want to read and I want to understand, but just for people that don't know Christ and question whether the Bible is real, there's so much evidence. It said real history is part of Bible history. I wrote something about that down. I feel like it was in Tate, but Bible history is a part of real history, and it is. And so that's how I feel about that. Thank you.